If you're in your 50s or 60s, I want you to stop for a moment and listen closely. Because what you're about to hear could save you from the 10 biggest regrets people feel when they turn 70 and beyond. And the truth is, most of them didn't see it coming. Hi there, and welcome to this very special episode created just for people like you. Smart, thoughtful, and looking to make these years count. You've worked hard, you've been there for everyone, and now, maybe for the first time, you're starting to wonder, what about me? But here's the thing, no one tells you the most painful regrets people feel later in life don't come from what they did. They come from what they didn't do. Missed chances. Words never said. Dreams quietly abandoned. And by the time they realize it, it's too late to go back. That's why today I'm walking you through the 10 most common regrets people face after 70. And more importantly, how you can still avoid them. Each one comes from real stories, real people, real consequences. So if you've ever felt that quiet tug inside, that voice asking, is this really all there is? Or should I have done more with my time? Stay with me. You are not too late. You still have time to choose differently, but only if you know what to look out for. Let's begin. Regret number 1 might just change how you spend the rest of your week. Regret number 1. I spent my whole life taking care of others and forgot myself. Meet Linda. She was the one everyone called when they needed help. A devoted wife, a mother of 3, the friend who never said no. For decades she ran the household, kept everyone afloat, and always put herself last. And then, one day, the house was quiet. Her children had moved on. Her husband, now ill, needed more care than ever. And Linda, exhausted, 69 years old, looked in the mirror and whispered, I don't know who I am anymore. She had given everything, but had nothing left for herself. No hobbies, no dreams, not even the energy to imagine what life for her might look like. This is one of the most common and heartbreaking regrets I hear from people in their 70s. They spent a lifetime being selfless only to realize that they never learned how to be a self. But here's the truth. Taking care of others should never mean abandoning yourself. It's not selfish to put yourself on the list. It's survival. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something just for you? Not for your family, not because you should, but because it brought you joy? If you can't remember, that's your sign. You still have time. Don't wait another year to start choosing yourself. You matter, and you don't need anyone's permission to start living for you. Regret number 2. I lived the life others expected, not the one I really wanted. Tom always dreamed of becoming a writer, but his father said, writers don't make money. So Tom got a real job. He worked in insurance for 42 years. Steady, dependable, safe. And now, at 72, he stares at a dusty typewriter in the corner of his den, untouched. I spent my whole life worrying what people would think if I failed, he says, but I never stopped to ask what it would cost me not to try. Sound familiar? So many of us, especially in our 50s and 60s, were raised to be respectable, to be quiet, to follow the rules. We stayed in jobs we hated. We said yes when we meant no. We worried about how it would look. But here's what people in their 70s will tell you. Nobody's thinking about you as much as you think they are. And the people who judged you, they don't get to live with the regrets. You do. So if you're still holding back, if there's something you want to do, say, try, or become. And the only reason you haven't is because you're afraid of what they might think. Please listen closely. Those opinions won't matter when you're 80, but your own happiness will. Do it now. Speak your truth. Start the thing, because the only approval you truly need is your own. Regret number 3. I let fear decide too many things for me. Fear is sneaky. It wears disguises. I'm just being practical. I'm not ready yet. What if I fail? What if I look foolish? But here's the truth. For many people, fear didn't protect them. It paralyzed them. Diane always dreamed of moving to the coast. She saved, she planned, she bookmarked listings for 12 years. But every time she got close, fear whispered, "It's too risky. What if it's the wrong move?" So she stayed, year after year, same street, same routines, and now, at 75, she says, "I waited for the perfect moment, but it never came, and now I'm too tired to start over." How many of us are still waiting to feel brave, waiting for certainty? But what if that moment never arrives? Here's the hard lesson many learn too late. Fear doesn't go away. You just get better at walking through it. So ask yourself, what decision are you postponing because you're afraid? Is it a trip, a career change, ending something that's no longer right, or finally starting something that feels true? Let this be a reminder. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing anyway. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be tired of living small. Because regret lasts a lot longer than fear ever does. Regret number 4. I thought we'd have more time. There's always that one person, an old friend, a sibling, a cousin you used to laugh with until your sides hurt. And then, life got busy. You told yourself, "I'll call them next week." Next week turned into next month, and now it's been 5 years, or maybe longer, and you wonder, would they even pick up if I called? This is one of the regrets that hits the hardest, not because of a big fight, not because of drama, but because of silence, because time quietly slipped away. Susan told me once, "My best friend and I used to talk every day, but after she moved, we both got caught up in family, work, the day-to-day. When I finally reached out, it was too late. She had passed, and I never got to say goodbye." Here's what people over 70 will tell you. Relationships don't fade because they're broken. They fade because we stop reaching. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone else to make the first move. Send the message. Make the call. Say, "I was just thinking about you, and I didn't want more time to pass." It doesn't have to be deep. It just has to be now. Because the greatest tragedy isn't losing people. It's losing the chance to let them know they mattered. Regret number 5. I didn't take my health seriously until it was too late. It starts small. A little fatigue, a sore knee, that checkup you keep rescheduling. After all, you've got things to do, other people to take care of, and besides, you'll deal with it later. But here's the hard truth many people face at 70 and beyond. Later doesn't always come. Jim was 62 when he first noticed shortness of breath. "I blamed it on age," he said. "I told myself I was just out of shape." He put off the doctor's visit for almost a year. By the time he went, the issue had progressed, and the options were fewer. "I wish I hadn't waited," he told me quietly. "I thought I had more time." This is a regret I hear far too often, because the signs were there. They were just ignored. Here's the thing. Taking care of your health doesn't mean living in fear. It means choosing to value yourself enough to act early. A walk today matters. Drinking water today matters. That screening you've been putting off, it matters. Because aging well isn't luck. It's preparation. So if your body's been whispering lately, listen. Don't wait for it to start shouting. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to pay attention. Your future self will thank you for every small step you take today. Regret number 6. I spent decades saving, but forgot to live. Money is important. Of course it is, but for many people over 70, the biggest financial regret isn't what they spent. It's what they didn't. Margaret had always been cautious. She clipped coupons, drove the same car for 18 years, passed on vacations, restaurants, even birthday gifts. "I wanted to be responsible," she said. "I was saving for the future, but now that I'm here, I realize I saved through the best years of my life and barely lived any of them." This one hits home for so many. We've been told all our lives, prepare, save, be smart. But we weren't told something just as important. Joy is worth investing in too. It's not about being reckless. It's about asking, what am I waiting for? That cooking class you've dreamed of? That weekend with the grandkids? That trip to the mountains or the coast? Or just your favorite diner across town? If not now, when? Because the truth is, one day you'll care far more about memories than money. And experiences will be worth more than anything in your bank account. So go ahead, spend the money on joy. Within reason, yes, but with heart too. Because peace of mind isn't just about how much you've saved, it's also knowing you truly lived. Regret number 7, I never said it, and now I never can. We always think there's time. Time to say, I love you. Time to say, I'm sorry. Time to say, you mattered more than you ever knew. But sometimes, that time runs out. Alan lost his brother unexpectedly at 68. They hadn't spoken in years, over something neither of them could even remember clearly. I kept thinking I'd reach out, Alan said, but I waited too long, and now all I have is silence. This kind of regret is sharp. It lingers because deep down we know we had the chance, and we didn't take it. So let me ask you, is there someone you need to talk to? Something that's been sitting on your heart for far too long? Say it. Don't wait for the perfect words. Say it messy. Say it honestly. Say it anyway. Because whether it's forgiveness, love, gratitude, or truth, what stays unspoken becomes a weight. And what's spoken, even clumsily, becomes freedom. You don't want to be the one whispering at a gravestone what you could have said face to face. So speak now, before the window quietly closes forever. Regret number 8. I thought it was too late, so I didn't even try. There's this dangerous myth that creeps in around 60. If I haven't done it by now, it's too late. But ask anyone in their 70s, and they'll tell you, that belief steals more life than age ever could. Joanne always wanted to learn piano, but every year she told herself, I'm too old to start. At 67, she watched a neighbor, 72, begin lessons and play her first song within 3 months. That's when Joanne realized, the only thing that kept me stuck was the story I told myself. It's not too late to fall in love. It's not too late to write the book. It's not too late to move, to learn, to laugh, to rebuild, to begin. The only thing stopping you might be the lie that says you're too late. But let me ask you, if you live another 20 years, do you really want to spend them repeating the last 20? Or do you want to wake up one morning and think, I'm just getting started? Because here's the truth most people don't hear until it's almost too late. You're never too old to begin again. You're only too old to wait. Regret number 9. I don't remember the last 10 years. They just blurred by. Have you ever driven somewhere and arrived with no memory of how you got there? That's what life on autopilot feels like. You wake up, you do what you always do, you go to bed, and then, suddenly, it's a decade later. Karen, now 73, put it this way: I didn't choose my days, I just reacted to them. Looking back, I don't know where the years went. I was alive, but I wasn't living. This regret is one of the quietest, but also the most haunting. Because there wasn't a big mistake, just a million small moments that were never truly felt. So many of us fall into patterns, same routines, same meals, same thoughts. We survive, but we don't engage. But here's the wake-up call. You don't have to change your whole life, just start paying attention to it. Drink your coffee slowly, look at the sky longer, call someone instead of texting, say yes to something new, even if it scares you. Because presence creates memories, and intention turns ordinary days into meaningful ones. Don't let your life blur into the background. You only get one. Make it vivid. Regret number 10. I thought I had more time. 3 months before he passed, George, age 81, said just one sentence to his daughter. I didn't realize how fast it would all go. That's what almost everyone says at the end. Not that they wanted more things, not that they wished they'd worked more. Just this: I didn't know it would feel like a blink. We waste so much time thinking life is long. We tell ourselves, one day I'll do this, one day I'll go there, one day I'll fix that. But one day turns into no day, and then the calendar runs out. But you're not at the end yet. You're here, reading this, feeling something stir in your chest. Let that be your proof. It's not too late, but it will be if you keep waiting. So take the trip, say the words, dance in the kitchen, laugh louder, forgive faster, and for heaven's sake, stop waiting for a better moment. This is the moment, because one day you'll either say, I wish I had, or I'm so glad I did. And the difference between those two is what you choose to do right now. So now you've heard them. The 10 most common regrets people carry into their 70s and beyond. And if you're feeling a little shaken, that's okay. That means something in you is awake and maybe, just maybe, ready. Because here's the part no one tells you. It doesn't take a perfect life to have no regrets. It just takes a conscious one. Every choice you make now, even the smallest one, is a chance to rewrite what your future self will look back on. Will you remember these years as the time you finally stopped waiting, stopped apologizing, stopped shrinking? Or will they blend into the background like all the others? You don't need to change everything overnight. Just start with one thing. Call that person, take that walk, write the first page, say yes, or finally say no. Because the biggest regret you could ever have is thinking you had to wait for permission to fully live your life. You don't. So go live it. And if this video meant something to you, if it made you pause, reflect, or even tear up a little, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about. They may need to hear it more than you know. And if you haven't yet, subscribe. This channel is here for you, not with noise, but with real honest reminders that your best years aren't behind you. They begin the moment you choose to stop living by fear and start living on purpose. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you stay a while.